women's wheelchair basketball team looks to advance to the semifinals, while the men are hunting for their first victory in Rio. Aurelie Rivard hopes to add another medal to her collection, and a preview of the Canadian men's wheelchair rugby squad. Hello and welcome to ParaBrazil 16. Today we'll have all of your Day 6 coverage. I'm Alex Arthur and he's Kyle Forrester.
Thanks, Alex. The women's wheelchair basketball team remain on their quest to reach the podium in Rio, but standing in their way from a semi-final berth is the Netherlands.
Let's head to the highlights to see how the ladies fared in the match. First quarter action, Canada down 9, when Janet McLaughlin gets fouled hard off the rebound. She would hit both at the charity stripe. Time running down in the half, Canada desperately trying to defend, but the Netherlands are just too strong. Canada down 13 at the half. In the third, Canadian Aurelie Rivard on the fast break for the uncontested layup. 2 minutes left in the third. Off the rebound, Lalonde sends it back in the paint to McLaughlin for 2 of her 18 points. Katie Harnick brings Canada within 6 with a mid-range jumper. But the Netherlands' ability to control the tempo on the defensive end proves to be too much for Canada as they're eliminated with a final score of 78-60. Cindy Ouellette and Janet McLaughlin once again led the way for Canada with 20 and 18 points respectively, but they could not overcome a 31-point performance by Mariska Beget, who helped the Dutch bring Canada's medal dreams to an end. With more on Canada's loss, here is Centennial's Callum Ferguson.
Day 6 here at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games, where earlier, the Canadian women's wheelchair basketball team had their medal hopes ended at the hands of the Netherlands. The women lost the game by a score of 78-60 and failed to get any offense going down the stretch. Despite the loss, the women remain very optimistic after the game, as they have a very good core of young players who they think will result in success going forward in future World Championships and the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. On top of that, the women wanted to thank all the Brazilian fans for their hard efforts in cheering them on and keeping the energy in the building throughout all of their games.
Coming into the Paralympics this year, the Canadian men's wheelchair basketball team knew that they were going to have a tough go of it. After winning 3 of the past 4 gold medals, this year's team is in rebuilding mode. The first 4 games of the tournament were evident of that. It hasn't gone as planned, with the men dropping all 4 matches this far, the closest outcome being decided by 17 points. On Tuesday, they faced off against the Turkish national team, hoping to finally get on board with the win. Canada relied on some of their younger players as Liam Hickey drills a tray and Nick Gonchin follows that up with some solid D. Ferret Gumas answers back with 3 of his own as Turkey hangs around. Captain David Ing shows off his awareness as he swats the ball away. Ing then displays a soft touch in the paint, counted for 2. Sam Gazenci then receives the ball down low, easy money. Gonchin reminds people of his offensive prowess, first by casually banking one in, and then locating an open Bo Hedges who scores. Moments later, a streaking Gonchin drives to the hoop and lays the ball in. Turkey puts this game away on a fast break where Condele scoops the ball into the hoop. Turkey hands Canada their final L of the tournament, 67-46. Canada will have one more chance to record a win on Wednesday versus Algeria. David Ing continued his strong play, scoring 15 points, but the men could not overcome the Turkish attack. The positive for Canada is this was a very young team who got some valuable experience for the future. With more on Canada's tournament, here's our own Keegan Matheson.
Hi, I'm Keegan Matheson here from the Media Press Center in Rio de Janeiro. I've been covering the men's and women's wheelchair basketball tournament. Women got knocked out in the quarterfinals today, but the men had a more disappointing tournament. They went 0-5. They'll be playing for 11th place tomorrow against Algeria. Now, for the men, it's been a transition year. They have 6 veterans, 6 rookies on the team, and coming off a gold medal in the 2012 London Games, a little difficult to go 0-5, but the national program is still very optimistic. They have some youngsters like Nick Gonchin, Liam Hickey coming out of this program that are going to lead it into the next games in 2020 Tokyo. Steve Bialos is optimistic, and especially the veterans have handled it very well, knowing what this means for Canada going forward. Now, David Eng, Adam Lancia, Abdi Dini, Bo Hedges, and some others, also this may be their last game, so it's really bringing to close an era where Canada was a worldwide powerhouse in wheelchair basketball. The women really controlled the game in the 90s up to 2000, and the men's have handled it since. So a time of change for wheelchair basketball in Canada, but there's certainly a lot of good prospects going forward for the men. And after Rio, they'll take a little break, regroup, and head towards the 2018 World Championships.
Aurelie Rivard entered these games with some lofty expectations after her incredible 2015 season, and so far she has yet to disappoint, as the Quebec native has maintained her momentum in Rio. After a gold medal in the 50-meter freestyle on Friday and a silver in the individual medley event on Sunday, Rivard will set her sights on the 100-meter freestyle final this evening. But before she steps up to the pool, she will need to qualify during her heat this morning. Rivard swimming in lane 4 alongside fellow Canadian Sam Ryan in lane 7. Rivard got off to an early lead and never looked back, extending her lead at the turn. She would go on to set another Paralympic record with a time of 59.89 seconds. Rivard will look to add to her medal count later tonight when she races in the final. Sam Ryan also competed in the women's 100-meter butterfly final last night with the hopes of earning a medal. She started the race in lane 6 on the outside, looking to take some people by surprise. Ryan started out the pack, but quickly fell behind, unable to match the pace of Sophie Pascoe of New Zealand. Pascoe started in lane 4 and got off to a strong start. By the time she touched the wall, she had set a new Paralympic record to go alongside her current world record.
Para-Pan Am gold medalist Pamela Lejeune competed in the women's shot put on Monday and finished 4th. It was a disappointing finish for the Sydney, Nova Scotia native, whose best throw of 4.16 meters was well short of her personal best of 4.48.
Yeah, I've been throwing these distances and further all year, all 2 years. So it's confusing and really frustrating to throw so short. And today we had a throw 3 and then take a whole loop of everyone else throw and then throw 3. I've never done that before. So normally you have the 3 and then a little bit of a break, like a 3-minute break, and then throw your next 3. And I rely on that, I think, a little too much, evidently. And my throws were really short. So hopefully this will be the last time I have to deal with that.
While para-athletes perform at exceptionally high levels, nobody necessarily expects them to record better times than Olympic athletes. But that is exactly what happened on Sunday night in the men's 1500-meter T13 final when Algeria's Abdelatif Bako won gold, setting a new para record with a time of 3 minutes 48.29 seconds. Bako's new para record was fast enough that his time would have won the 1500-meter men's final at the Olympics, beating gold medalist Matthew Centrowitz's winning time. Not only that, the 3 runner-ups also beat Centrowitz's winning time in Rio as well. The T13 race, which is for visually impaired athletes, was exceptionally fast because one of the racers quickly broke away from the pack and the rest of the group had to stay with him. In contrast, this year's Olympic race was more tactical and saw the leaders set a deliberately slow pace, which resulted in the slowest 1500-meter gold medal winning time since 1932. Here's a closer look at the Paralympic T13 times versus the Olympic times. Abdelatif Bako won in a time of 3 minutes 48 seconds, a second and a half faster than the Olympic gold medalist Matthew Centrowitz. However, it should be noted that Centrowitz's personal best is just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 20 seconds faster than what he ran at the Olympics.
Canada's Amy Burke isn't new to the sport of goalball. After picking up the game in 2005, Burke is now a veteran presence on a team made up mostly of younger and more inexperienced players. Burke, who is a 2-time world champion in 2006 and 2011, has yet to win a Paralympic medal. The Rio Games will be her 3rd Paralympic appearance, and she's hoping to lead the team to her first ever podium finish.
Amy Burke is the captain for Team Canada's women's goalball team for Rio at the 2016 Paralympics, and she's a native of Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Burke started competing at the elite level in 2005 after taking up the sport of goalball just 1 year earlier at age 13 when her vision teacher introduced her to the PEI goalball team coach. Like her teammate Whitney Bogart, Burke needed 2 tries at goalball before embracing the sport as a youngster, as the speed and strength of the game caught her off guard. She was a 2-time world champion in 2006 and 2011 and helped Canada to bronze at the Worlds in 2015. Burke represented Canada at the 2008 and 2012 Paralympic Games, where the team placed 5th both times. Burke says that when someone tells her there is only one way to do things, it always lights a fire under her, and her instant reaction is to prove otherwise. Her passion and drive has made her a valuable team member, both on and off the court. We had a chance to catch up with Burke just before she left for Rio, as the teams were announced for the men's and women's goalball teams representing Canada at the 2016 Paralympics.
Both the men and women's goalball teams sport a 2-2 record, and both are through to the knockout stage. The women were able to pick up a win today, defeating Australia 6-0, with Amy Burke sniping all 6 of Canada's goals, while the men fell to Sweden 6-3.
So far on ParaBrazil 16, we have profiled some of the Paralympics' lesser-known sports. Today we delve deeper into one of the most anticipated and exciting sports the Games has to offer. Invented in 1977, wheelchair rugby, also known as murder ball, made its Paralympic debut at the Atlanta Games in 1996, demanding the combination of speed, agility, strength, and grit to excel at the highest level. The wide set of skills needed to thrive in the sport is only matched by the character and toughness required to play it. Teams are made up of 12 players, and the game is played 4-on-4. Each team has 12 seconds to gain the opponent's half, and 40 seconds to score. Players score by crossing the goal line while keeping both wheels of their chair on the ground. Players must bounce or pass the ball every 10 seconds or forfeit possession to the other team. To pass the ball, players can throw, roll, bat, or bounce it. As a full contact sport, clashes between chairs are not only common, but an important part of the game. Hitting and blocking are used by players to stop the ball carrier or create openings for a goal. Wheelchair rugby is a fast, physical, and exciting sport that you'll surely want to check out. The Canadian team has seen a lot of success in the international stage, winning medals in 4 or 5 Paralympics, but none of these are the coveted gold medal. They have won silver in 1996, 04, and 2012, while taking home bronze in 2008. While these results are impressive, Canada is gunning for the top spot this time around.
Joining us now to preview Canada's chances in wheelchair rugby is one of Canada's all-time greats in the sport, Garett Hickling. Garett, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Garett, Team Canada is coming off gold at the 2015 Para-Pan Ams and the World Wheelchair Rugby Challenge, but they have yet to win Paralympic gold. Do you think this team has what it takes to bring home the gold this year, and why?
I definitely feel this team has what it takes to take home the gold. We have a lot of new players that are very fast, very keen and eager to want to win, and we do have some experience there as well, where those guys will control the guys, and if they're playing as a team, I see the gold coming home to Canada.
Hey Garett, Alex Arthur here. Wheelchair rugby has been long dominated by Canada and the US, but it has seen other teams improve in recent years. What countries should Canada be worried about this time around?
Canada should be worried about a few different countries. Australia is a definite contender. They won the last previous World Championships, and Great Britain as well as Japan are definite guys that are coming up and improving every year, and they will be definitely in the top 5 as well.
You've been to 5 Paralympics in your career so far. What kind of advice would you give to those who are getting their first crack at the Paralympics?
Just to go enjoy it and have fun. It's just, to me, it's after you play a while, it's just a regular tournament. But you do have 10,000 plus people cheering you on and cheering the opponents on, so it does add to the intensity quite a bit, but it's just play yourself and have fun.
Now, Canada gets their tournament underway tomorrow against host nation Brazil. Do the Brazilians have a good team, or do you expect a good old Canadian blowout?
The Brazilians I haven't seen in a couple of years, but I believe Canada should win. Can't guarantee a blowout, but I definitely see Canada winning that.
All right, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, Garett. Have yourself a great day.
Thanks, Garett.
Thanks. Thanks, you guys too.
And here we have a look at the current and updated medal standings. China still way out ahead with 134. And then we got Canada down in 14th to 13. What do you think, Alex?
Well, I mean, China's surprise, surprise. They've been doing well this whole tournament. But I'm especially surprised by Brazil and Australia to see the amount of medals that they have. But I'm hoping that Canada can enter the top 10 before the Paralympics is over.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, it was a somewhat disappointing day for Canada earlier today, not building on their medal total. How are things looking for tonight and into tomorrow, Alex?
Well, tonight will be a night of bocce ball, as we've got an all-Canadian face-off with Marco Despaltro going up against Alison Levine, so keep an eye out for that outcome. And in the pool, Aurelie Rivard has a chance to win her third medal of the Games in the 100-meter freestyle. Yeah,
there's definitely some opportunities for Canada to up their medal total. Tomorrow back in the pool, and then with the start of road cycling as well. Well, that'll do it for us today. Hope you've enjoyed day 6 of our real Paralympic coverage. For ParaBrazil 16, I'm Kyle, he's Alex, and we are wrapped. Hope everyone enjoys their night. Join Alex and me tomorrow for day 7.